So it's more focused or more oriented on the part of business, while public speaking is just focused on presentation and communication generally. Okay, but if you look at it, they still go hand in hand. And that is why we want to start with one of the things that I believe to be the greatest, the greatest power when it comes to selling, which is self-confidence. Okay, self-confidence is very essential when it comes to selling, because most times what we are selling is our confidence, not particularly the product or the service that we are offering. Because when a client is having conversation with you, they are looking at how confident is this person uh, with regard to what they are trying to sell. And it's not just about your own confidence, it's also about the confidence of the client in your ability to deliver, especially for those of us who are into professional services. And basically, most other persons in any kind of professional services, people who sell insurance, people who sell legal services, people who sell accounting services, they all face similar problem. What we are selling basically is our confidence, because if we can get people to believe in us, they would invest more money in our businesses and our products. Okay, so because of that, we're going to take today to discuss personal confidence masterclass. Now, what is self-confidence? Just to begin, self-confidence is the degree of confidence that you have in yourself. How much faith, how much belief do you have in yourself or your products or your ideas? And how does that, you can hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, okay.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, you can't hear me. Oh,
No, I can't hear you.
but can you hear me now?
Better now. I can hear you
All
now.
right.
It's clear
All
now.
right. It's a network glitch. So you can see that self-confidence is the degree of confidence that you have in yourself, and it is a degree of faith, belief, or trust that you have in yourself, your abilities, your opinions, and your ideas. So people who don't have confidence in their abilities, they often face the problem that other people cannot have confidence in them, because confidence has to be shared. I have to feel confident in you before I will feel confident to do any sort of business with you. It is
Mm.
also important for us to look at self-esteem, which is basically your opinion of yourself. Your self-esteem is your opinion of yourself. What is your opinion of your own self? Now, why does self-confidence matter in public speaking, and why does it matter in sales? The reason it matters is because you can influence or motivate people to the degree of your self-confidence. You can influence or motivate people to the degree of your self-confidence. So if you have higher self-confidence, you tend to command higher fees. As simple as this is actually what makes a difference in most cases and in most businesses that I've worked with. The moment you get somebody to be more confident in themselves and to have more faith in the ability to deliver results, you notice that it somehow rubs off on the people that they are trying to sell to, or the people that they are trying to get on board. So you can influence or motivate people to the degree of your confidence. Are we together?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Okay. I wanted to check that you can see hear me.
Yeah, I
So
can hear you very well.
we continue. Why
Okay.
self-confidence matters. Number two, without confidence, your opinion or ideas appear less interesting and less convincing. So if you don't have confidence in yourself or in what you're doing, your opinion or the ideas that you have will appear less interesting. So people will say, well, if what you're saying is interesting, why are you not confident in yourself? Why can't we feel the fire? Confident people are more likely to express their ideas more clearly and even more persuasively. Don't you agree?
But I have one. I have one question to ask.
Okay.
When you say self-confidence, it's confidence in yourself. When you have
Okay.
when you have confidence in yourself, I just
Okay.
want to take an instance because there are all these
Okay.
that I know that sell all this land in Ibejuleki, in
Yeah.
Songotedo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you come across them trying to give you flyers, telling you the land is 500,000, 1 million. And I asked one of them,
Yeah.
do you have a land in this property you are selling? They will tell you no. I said, if you don't have a land in this place you are trying to sell, why do you want me to have a land in the place you are selling? Why don't you first
Yeah.
have a land in that place? You begin
Invest
to,
there.
as in, yes, they will tell you, come and buy this
Okay.
land now. It is 900,000. It is 1 million. I will ask them first, do you have a land there?
Okay.
And the answer is no. Whenever it's not, if you can't have a land in your property, why do
Why
you
should
want
I?
me to have a land there?
Yeah.
They begin to dilly dally. So I don't know. Do you attribute that to lack of confidence? Because
So
the primary, I know maybe they don't have the money to buy, but they're
yeah.
still giving you all the options of payment plan of you can
Smaller
pay
payment
instrumentally.
plans.
You can. So why are
Yeah.
they not doing it themselves? Either they don't have
So
confidence in their own product they're trying to
not
market.
really. Not really. So when it comes to sales, one of the things we teach, or one of the things I tell people about sales is don't use ever sell something that you are not willing to buy or to use. So what big companies do is that if you're going to sell their product, they give you the product for you to have, right? Now, when it comes to land, land is a very cost-effective product. Okay, you might have land here, does not mean you're going to have land there. That is one. Then
Okay.
secondly, some of the salespeople you see in those companies are actually young people that are looking to make money, right?
Okay.
So it's understandable why they do that. But if you meet their bosses, you see that their bosses actually have lands in those places. Because I have friends that deal on real estate. Some of them actually, even though the family has given them the land to sell, they still reserve some for themselves, for the
Okay.
future. And some of them actually control a lot of money. But those ones don't go to the streets. They don't, share flyers and all of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I were you, I wouldn't bother those guys because I know it's just their hustle. I know it's just their hustle, right? And funny enough, even in real life scenarios, like the day I watched a video of the guy that makes gold for the video.
Okay.
This is 30B gang, whatever. He has
30
a
billion.
ring, 30
Okay.
billion gang something. He has a ring for it. So the guy that makes it, the day I saw the guy on his own video, on the video's video, the guy was just
Okay.
wearing a t-shirt. There was no
Oh,
atom of
Mamobaru.
gold. He was not wearing anything. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Hello. So he was not even wearing
I
so
can
much
hear you.
gold
I
and
can
all
hear
of
you.
that. No, it's not you. The
Okay.
second person just joined.
Okay.
So he was not even wearing so much gold and all of
Okay.
that. And that is not the video's concern. He was more concerned about the integrity of the company because he's doing
Okay.
business with the company, not the individual
Okay.
that is
True.
selling that thing to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're correct about us.
So confident people are more likely to get paid more. They are easily trusted to deliver, and they are often perceived as having competent leadership skills. So once somebody is confident at work, you see that people will start to give the person more responsibilities. I don't know if you have noticed that once somebody is confident,
Yes.
people believe you can lead, you can be in charge, you can take care of this. People trust you with more things. But the moment somebody wants to do business with you and you're blabbing, they begin to lose confidence in you. Now, we have to distinguish between self-confidence and arrogance because some people kind of confuse the two. So we're going to talk about what self-confidence is not. Self-confidence is not that you don't have any fear at all. Self-confidence does not mean that you don't have fear. It means that even though there is fear in your heart, but you keep on doing what you believe to be the right thing to do. Self-confidence does not mean that you are superior to every other person that you see. That is arrogance, not self-confidence.
Okay.
Self-confidence does not mean that you are more knowledgeable than others. Let me connect with this person. Sir, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, are you participating now?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, I'm talking to the second person.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you, but the network is not really bad. It's breaking.
It's breaking.
Yes.
Oh, I think it's from your side, though.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's from my side. Well, I'm still hearing you, though. But
I'm recording it, so at the end of the program, I'll send you the recording as well. Is that okay?
What did you say?
Is that okay? I said at
Please
the
come
end of the
again.
program.
It's your end, Dr. Mike. I think it's your end that is breaking. Okay, I can hear him very well, but I can't hear you I can't hear you very well anymore.
Really?
Hello? I can hear the other participants
Hello,
very well. I can hear the other guy very well. I can't hear you very well anymore.
Okay.
Yes, it's from Dr. Mickey, I guess.
I can hear you I can hear you Adeyeye. I can hear Adeyeye very well. I can hear Adeyeye very well.
I can hear you very well too.
Oh. Maybe because the both of you are in Lagos. Lagos network is now doing.
Is it Glow you are using?
Okay.
Glow?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's breaking. There's a little bit of noise, the echo in the background.
Yes, your own voice is breaking.
But I can pick out what you're saying, but there's a noise in the background. But I can pick out what you're saying.
Okay, let's fix this now. Can we fix this? Has it improved now?
No.
I can't hear you sincerely.
Has it improved?
No. I can hear you, but I see there's a repetition at your background. Whenever you say something,
I'm hearing your voice.
It repeats at the background. So yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Adeyeye? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, Mr.
Very well, right? Yes.
Clearly.
I can hear you too very well, clearly.
But I can't hear Dr. Mickey clearly. The problem is from Dr. Mickey.
Can you hear me now? You still can't hear me.
It's not clear.
It's not clear.
It's not clear. Okay. What can I do? How do I? The network looks good from this place. Looks good. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, not clearly. It's cracking. Your voice is cracking.
It's cracking. Okay,
yes.
Let me remove this micro. I'm going to remove my mic to see if my mic is not transmitting.
Wow, I'm sweating.
Is Dr. Mitchell still online?
I don't know.
My
Let
brother,
me
how
check.
far?
All right.
I
Okay.
don't.
Are we
Okay, it's
together
back
now?
online now.
Okay.
Is it working now?
Yes,
Yes, it's
although your
working
voice
now.
is not loud, but we are
I can
hearing.
hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
using,
very audible now.
I've added my mic.
You're very
Is it
audible
working
now.
now? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So we were talking about self-confidence. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? You can't hear me. I think it's
No.
Yeah, your voice is cracking. I can. Yeah,
Eh.
it's cracking.
But I can't make out. You make the background is shaking. I don't know why. But I was hearing you before. Now what happened? I could hear you prior to now for about 30 minutes. We were very audible, but now I don't know what. Are you using Glow or something? Is it Glow you're using? Hmm?
Hello, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me now? So it
Yes,
looks
sir.
like my mic. I don't know if my mic is having issue. Is the voice clear now?
Okay. It's clear, yes, but not loud.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
not going
clear.
to be loud
It's
because
clear.
I'm not using mic. I've dropped the mic.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
It's clear.
So we're talking about self-confidence and how self-confidence contributes to becoming an effective salesperson and the role that self-confidence plays when it comes to sales. So I was just discussing with Mr. Obire on that. And I don't know that self-confidence is not bad.
Good afternoon.
Are we still together?
How much?
Okay. Okay, so it does not mean that you don't have any sense of fear. It does not mean that you are superior to every other person. It does not mean that you are more knowledgeable than all others in the room or wherever you are speaking. And self-confidence also does not mean that you are better than every other person in the room. So if you notice, self-confidence is not really a competition. It's not a competition of who is better than who. And the moment we stop competing with our comparing ourselves with members of the audience, the better we become with communication. So self-confidence also does not mean that I am infallible, that I cannot make mistakes or stuff like that. Self-confidence does not mean that I'm always right or that I cannot be wrong. That is not the idea. You can be confident and you might just be wrong. Okay. So self-confidence also does not mean that I don't care about how my words or actions affect other people. If you don't care about how your words or your actions affect other people, that is arrogance, not self-confidence. So since we have clarified what self-confidence is not, the next question is then what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is knowing and embracing your self-worth. Knowing and embracing your self-worth. The fact that, look, I am worthy of being human. I'm worthy of some of the best things of life. I'm worthy of having the best things in life. And it also means believing in your abilities, whatever those abilities might be. It might be your ability to deliver results, or your ability to close on a client, or your ability to get drive the client from one point to the next point. Also, self-confidence is accepting your humanity. Okay, accepting the fact that you might not be perfect, that you have weaknesses, and you also have strength that needs to be harnessed. Self-confidence also means respecting your inner voice. There are people who do not respect their inner voice, and so they always look for validation outside themselves. They always want to be validated by other people other than themselves. Self-confidence also means mutual respect for your audience. So when you are confident, you will respect your audience. You have some respect for the audience that is sacrificing their time and their attention, listening to you or learning from you. Self-confidence also means not being afraid to try new promising things. In the course of this program, sometimes I'm going to ask you to do something, ask you to perform some exercises. Self-confidence means that you are not afraid to try out those new things, even though they might look scary to you or they might be new to you, but you are not afraid to at least give it a try. Are we still together? Are we still together? Mr. Obiru, I can't see you.
I'm here.
Yeah, is my voice still clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Ade.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. So self-confidence also means being able to act even though you are feeling afraid. So sometimes you feel afraid, but then you are still able to act even though you are feeling afraid. Self-confidence does not mean that you don't have fear. It means that even though the fear is there, you are still willing to move ahead. You are still willing to take the necessary steps. Self-confidence also means emotional security. Emotional security in terms of you are not thinking that other people's success affects you negatively, and you are not constantly fighting or competing with other people, especially because you are trying to measure your ego or measure yourself with them. So somebody that has self-confidence will have emotional security, which means they are comfortable around people who may be more successful than them, or people who may be more handsome or more beautiful than them, or people who may seem to have, somehow figured life better than them. They are not afraid because they are confident in themselves and in what they can do. They are not comparing themselves with other people, trying to talk down on other people because they want to bring them down to their level. So if you look at everything that self-confidence is, you see that it is the direct opposite of arrogance. You cannot be confident and be arrogant at the same time. It's either you are arrogant or you are confident. If you're arrogant, it means that you normally compare yourself with other people and you think you are superior to people. It also means that you believe that you cannot make mistakes, that you are infallible, which is really, really wrong. But self-confidence means that you have accepted, look, I may be wrong. So you take corrections when it's necessary and you listen to anyone that has something to really offer you, even though they might be younger or they might be older. It doesn't matter the situation. You don't have insecurity whether you are being spoken to by a junior colleague or you are being spoken to by a senior colleague. It doesn't really change the fact that you are more open and you are very willing to learn and to listen and to improve. It takes a lot of confidence to be able to do that. Also, there are 5 signs that you have low self-confidence. If you see these 5 signs in your life, it means that your self-confidence is really low. Number one is that you have insecurity. Insecurity means that you're not secure around people. You're not secure around people of significance. So such people will tend to want people that are not doing so well so that they will always remain the king, right? And then they often they often talk down on other people, right? Because they feel like if you are doing better than them, it is wrong, or that they have to compete. They are constantly competing with you, and that is not a very good thing. I have seen some speakers that go to speak and they end up bragging instead of them to just focus on the speech that they've been called to give, but now they want to prove something that is not there. And so they end up either bragging or pissing the audience off or even embarrassing somebody in the audience. So if you notice that you have insecurity around people, it is a sign that you have low self-confidence. If you have also notice that you have the victim mentality. The victim mentality is for people who are always playing the victim. They are always the victim of circumstance, or the victim of politicians, the victim of political policies. You know, they are always at the victim side of life. They are never in control or in charge. Every time you see them, they are complaining about what somebody did or did not do. If you find yourself doing that, it's a sign that you have low self-confidence, because confident people, they take responsibility for their own environment, their own decisions, and their own lives. The next one is that you have poor body postures, which I'm going to explain in the course of this class. I'm going to show you some body postures that you should not use when you are speaking on stage. The reason is because they make you to appear less powerful. They show that you don't have confidence in yourself. The next, you seek a lot of validation in everyday speech. Some people, they seek a lot of validation. Should I say it like this? Should I say it like that? Now, you have to understand that there's nothing wrong with seeking validation. There's nothing wrong with seeking validation. But when you always have to depend on people to validate everything you do, that is a problem. There are times you should validate things yourself and take responsibility for whatever the outcome might be. But there are times that you need to talk to a professional, maybe talk to a coach. I have so many clients, some of them politicians, some of them accountants, and sometimes they want to do one or two things. And sorry, please give me a second. And they have a high stake presentation to make. They talk to me about what they want to do, so I go through it with them and I provide them with feedback. Now, that is different from what we're talking about here. The people who seek validation, they seek validation even in the common things of life. They seek validation in almost everything, and that is a very wrong thing to do. The next one, which is the last one, is you are not speaking when there is a clear need to do so. There are people who don't speak out, even though there is a clear need for them to speak out. If you find yourself there, it's a sign. Mr. Obike, don't give me corona. What is your problem? You want to give me this thing from Lagos? I've left Lagos for you people. So take note of all these signs. If you're noticing any of these signs, it means that you have low self-confidence. It means that you really have to do something about your confidence, to boost up yourself. Now, take note of all these poor body postures for public speakers. If you have these body postures, it is poor.
I can't hear you. Am I still? Can anybody hear me?
Are you still following?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I'm with you guys.
All right. So take note of these poor body postures, please. Number one is fidgeting. Fidgeting. Some people fidget like this. They touch their rings. Some people fidget with their fingernails. Some women fidget by shifting their hair. Some people fidget by touching a part of their body. Some guys fidget by touching their beards. Whichever one you are doing, it passes the wrong message when you are speaking and you are doing it. It makes you look like somebody who is not trustworthy, somebody who is afraid, somebody who is not sure of what they are saying. So as much as you can, try not to fidget when you are speaking in public. Okay, we're not saying fidgeting is wrong in real life. We're just saying if you have a high stake presentation, avoid fidgeting, because fidgeting will pass the wrong message to the listeners. The second one is clasped hands. Clasped hands. It shows that you are distressed, and it shows you as somebody who lacks confidence, and it also shows that you are absent-minded while you are making a presentation. You can see the clasped hand somewhere in the picture that I'm showing you. I hope you can see it.
Yeah, but I'm seeing two. One is marked red, while the other one there's nothing on it.
Yes, that means instead of you to clasp your hand, instead of you to do this one,
okay,
do the other one.
The other one, okay.
Yes, because some people cannot keep. Yesterday, I was training them in Abuja. There was this man, he cannot keep his hands. He cannot just keep his hands. He has to do something with his hands. So for those people, you can clasp like this because this shows that you are conscious, you are intentional. But this makes you look like you are seeking for people's pity. If you can imagine a scenario where somebody is putting where somebody is putting their hand like this, you know, and normally when we put our hands like this in Nigeria is when you want to show respect to all these big gas. You
Yes.
just put it and bend your head small. So, but when you are making a business presentation, it is no longer necessary, right? You don't try to buy favors. You bring value to the table, and if it is good, some people will buy into it. Now, this one is called looking down, and looking down is when it makes you to look like you're shy, or sometimes it means that you are embarrassed. It also makes you to look dishonest, and it makes you look like you are regretting or you have regrets while you are making your presentation. So when you're making your presentation, you should typically be looking at the audience. You should be typically looking at the audience while you're facing them, not looking down. Mr. Adede, are you still with me? Okay, good, good. So you should be looking at the people. You should not be looking down because if you are looking down, it shows that you are hiding something.
Sorry, can I have a view of that slide again? The one of looking
Yes,
down.
this is
I
it.
missed it.
This
Okay.
is it. Yes. It shows that you are shy or that you are embarrassed or that you are dishonest or that you have regrets. Either way, it's
Okay.
confusing the message you're passing across. If you want to sell me something, I want you to look me in the eyes. If you are looking on the ground, it means you are not proud of what you're selling. It means you are afraid of what you're selling, or it means you're not sure of what you're selling. Now, I want you to note that people don't actually read body language. It's only a few percent that understands how to read body language. So people just instinctively judge you based on your body language. So it's not like they are professionals, but they just look at the way you are behaving and they conclude that this is how you are. So somebody can be looking down and still be honest. But the thing is that people who look down are already known as dishonest people. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So we are not saying every time somebody looks down, they are actually dishonest. But the thing is, whenever you are talking to me and I'm asking you, how much should I put into your business? And you're looking down before you talk to me, it means there is something fishy. That is how I feel. It might not be true. Maybe you have the habit of looking down, but then that is how I feel. And that will determine how I will do business with you or how I will relate with you eventually. And then this is slouching. You can see the way this man is slouching. You can see the way the lady is slouching. There are people that do this naturally, but this is not good. This shows a lack of confidence. If you are confident in yourself, your chest should be out. You should have a chest out, okay? And then look at this. This is called closed gestures. Closed gestures. There are different types I'm showing you on the screen. The first one is the one where somebody is closing their hands like this when they are speaking, right? Now, closed gestures is different from when somebody was keeping their hands like this. When we are speaking, it's different from when somebody is closing their hands up. It shows that the person is closed. It shows that the person is not open enough for the conversation. It shows that the person is trying to protect something.
Can't hear you anymore.
The line is breaking again. I can't hear you anymore.
Hello, are we back?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There was a glitch. Please give me a sec. I'm coming. Okay, so you don't want to do closed gestures because it makes you to look like you're hiding something, you're protecting something. You're not open to discussion, you're not open to conversation. Instead, you should have an open arm, or you should do hands akimbo. That is, put your hands on your hips, which shows I'm ready, I'm fired, let's talk, let's have a conversation. And then we have the non-purpose hand movements or hand gestures. People that when they are talking, they are doing their hand like this. You know what I'm trying to say is that anything they are saying, their hand is doing. It doesn't matter what they are saying, their hand is doing the same thing. That is what we call no purpose hand movement. Right? So if you have somebody like that, or you have somebody like that, you need some discipline to keep your hand in one place.
Oh,
And
please,
then,
this got me laughing here.
and then there is the darting eyes. The darting eyes, some people when they are talking, they are used to moving their eyes from one place, from one corner to the other. It makes you to look suspicious. It makes you to look unsettled. If there is anything I've learned when it comes to negotiation, business meetings, one of the things I've learned is if you are holding a business meeting, you have to look straight in the eyes. Very important. If the person is a woman, you have to avoid maybe looking anywhere close to the breast because that could be a problem to some people. Even though you might not actually be looking there, but if your eyes is somehow close to there, it could lead to a problem. So what I do is I try as much as I can not to dart my eyes. If somebody steps into the room, you don't want to push your eyes there. If something falls or something happens, you want to be the last person to look there. The reason is because if you are the first person to always catch anything that happens, it shows. Why are you laughing?
Oh, you see that because I can attest to such
you,
to such
okay,
scenes and scenario.
you've had such experiences.
Of course, sir.
Somebody did it to you, or you did it to somebody.
When I used to go for marketing, those things I used to do for marketing calls where I used to work in
Okay.
a corporate. So I used to know we used to go in groups. So we experience such
Yes.
such scenarios.
Okay. So you don't want to be letting your eyes to catch everything that happens. Sometimes something will happen. You just keep your calm. Let every other person look or watch before you now decide if it is something that is worth even your attention. You want to show the other party that you have undivided attention and you are willing to discuss business today, right? The next one is how to boost your personal confidence. So how do I take my personal confidence from 3 to 7 or 7 to 15? The secret is always to practice confident body postures. Practice confident body postures. Okay? There are different confident body postures I will share with you. I've already shared some. You need to practice them. You need to try to live like that. You need to try to carry yourself that way and see how it works for you. The second one is to practice presence. So some salespersons, the problem with them is that when they are talking to you, they sound like they are not present. They sound like they are absent from the conversation. And because of that, they sound boring and they sound really, really uninteresting. I've discovered that one of the best ways to be more charismatic is to show more presence. And what that means is show that you are there, right there and there. Your mind is there, your body is there, your soul is there, your spirit is there. So whatever is happening, let your body and your mind and your soul be present in the conversation. Because whenever it is absent, the people you are talking to will feel like they are not confident in you, as if you let some. And puts you in the right state of mind. Exercise empowers your physical body and it puts you. Oh, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, better now. Better.
Yes, I said exercise empowers your body, your physical body, and it also puts you in the right state of mind. It puts you in an empowered state of mind. So, as much as you can, you need to embrace exercise. Then visualize the things that you are doing. If you're going to sell, if you're going to make presentation, you need to learn to use your mind and visualize the things that you are going to do. Visualize yourself doing them. We call it the power of visualization. Virtually every speaker that I've interviewed in the course of my career says they use visualization. So before they speak in front of a large audience, they imagine themselves and they imagine the audience and then they try to speak to that audience. You see, the more they visualize it and the more they put themselves in those states, the more they train their subconscious mind to be able to handle such moments without feeling pressured. And then the last thing is for you to dare yourself. You need to dare yourself. You need to get yourself to do certain things that you might not be comfortable doing. There are things that are required of you when it comes to sales, when it comes to talking about your business. There are some things you might not even be comfortable with. There is a way most of us talk. And sometimes in a sales class, we say, okay, change the way you have conversation, change the way you have sales conversation. You notice that some people will not even dare themselves to even try. They want to continue in their old ways. So I want you to know that at the end of the day, no matter the level of training we give to you, if you don't dare yourself, you will never see how powerful they are. So if I talk about anything, you try it out. If it doesn't work, then you bring it to me. That's how it really works, because sometimes it is not about the idea per se, it's about the application. It's about how did you use it and what did you do differently. So I trained in a particular school, a particular seminar. I spoke there, and I thought about the power of touch. I told them, I said, when you go home, try it. Touch somebody in a specific place where I told them, and then try and say things the way I said it. I think about 6 persons out of everybody that came were the ones that tried it, and they were the ones that came back with testimonies. The first guy said he did it with somebody. He made sure he went to this girl because he has been trying to strike up a conversation with this girl, but it's not working. So he said, yes, if this thing is working, it should work on this one, right? And he went, he tried it, it worked. The next day he came, he was laughing, he said he couldn't believe it. That he's not even sure if it is the technique or something else that happened, but he couldn't believe what happened in front of him. So I told other people, some of this information, you don't have to consume them, you have to try them. Yeah. I also learned negotiation by trying it. They sent us out doing our training. They sent us out. We go to hotels and we negotiate with hotels. Even though our own was based on an assumption, it wasn't really. So we're giving event. We're giving a scenario. My particular scenario was I was to get a hotel venue, and I was to get it either for free or at a very cheap price, maybe 5K or 10K. And I'm going to tell them I want to do an event with their hotel, and I want them to give it to me. It's a very ridiculous assignment, because going to those hotels and talking to those people, it is not easy. You will agree with me, right? I mean, which hotel would give you their event, their venue for you to pay 10,000 naira? How much is a venue? I mean, how much is the diesel that you are paying 10,000 naira for a venue? It is ridiculous, right? But then I tried it, and the more I tried it, the more I began to learn. The more I learned that there's a place you put ease, and there's a place you put words, and that can make a whole lot of difference. I wouldn't have known if I didn't try it. So in fact, I even began to notice, the more I visit the hotels, I began to notice that the success of your negotiation begins from the reception. Am I still communicating?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes. The success of your negotiation begins from the reception. The reception has to feel confident in you. The reception will now tell you the manager that you can meet for such discussion. So I went to one particular hotel. I had some casual talk with the reception. She relaxed. We talked, we spoke. I made it look like I've been in the hotel before. I'm a regular visitor and all that. I didn't say it. I just made it look like that, because I was trying also to avoid lying. And so I created the impression that, hey, I've always been here. I know everybody and all of that. And we spoke. By the time we finished speaking, I said, look, I'm hoping to use your hotel for an event, but I really don't have the budget. And I'm looking to speak with somebody who can help me who can listen to me and at least see reasons in what I have to offer. And she told me, she said, we have 2 managers. You see the other manager, the one that is like this? I said, yes. He said, don't go to that one. That one will not even listen to you. He said, you see the other manager? I said, yes. He said, that's the one you should go to. That one has sense. That one can listen. He listens to reason. Would you agree with me that that information alone is very critical to my success? Don't you agree?
Yes.
It's very critical. Knowing the right person to talk to is very important in sales. Sometimes you don't even have to talk to most of these business owners. You don't have to talk to their wives, because if you can get their wives to agree, you will get them to agree, right? But how do you know who is the power controller? How do you know who is holding power? And how do you know who is more reasonable? How do you know who is more open? You wouldn't know. So what I did was, from that day, I changed, even though I didn't later get that hotel, because even the reasonable person told me that the price is ridiculous. That you cannot do it. So, but then I learned a lesson. So from that day, any hotel I visit, I become friendly with the receptionist, and then I discuss with the receptionist. I tell them, some of them will tell me, don't even say it, that the boss will fire you and all of that. I'll say, no problem, let me meet with the boss,
and I had to think of my value proposition. What do they want? You know, so there are things you present to a hotel. You notice that they don't even want that thing you are presenting to them. They are looking for something different. They are looking for something more. I remember discussing with somebody, one guy like that. He's a publisher. He's into magazine publication. So I wanted to use the negotiation skills on him. I didn't know that it was going to backfire. So I told him, I said, look, we are doing programs. We have reputation. We have quite some reputation. And if you partner with us, a lot of people are going to get to know you. And so the young man looked at me and he said, you know, I'm into publishing, right? I said, yes, I know. He said, so I've probably published more than 20,000 magazines. I said, yeah, I know. He said, so when it comes to reputation, I probably have more reputation than you. I didn't think about that, seriously. I didn't even know where I come up with it. When he said that, I was in my mind, I said, you don't have anything to offer this guy. You should have thought about it. Okay, it's like going to a TV network and telling them that you make them popular. They are the ones that will make you popular. You're not the ones to make them popular. So, but if somebody like JJ Okocha goes to a TV network, yes, of course, he can make them more popular, you know. So I had to think of a better way, a better strategy. What do these hotels want? How do they define value? Is this somebody I need to get by relationship? Do I need to lodge in this hotel before they can, you know, open up certain things for me? Do I need to offer my services for free? Do I have to tell them that I can include their names on my flyers and all of that? So all of these things are necessary only if you understand and you are willing to dare yourself to try it out. Then we talk about body language. You can communicate non-verbally with others through body movements, postures, hand gestures, tone of voice. Yes, tone of voice, whether your voice is loud, your voice is low, your voice is high, or your voice is calm, volume of voice, and facial expressions, even micro expressions like the expressions on your face, like the way you use your eyes and the way you use your lips. All of these things are what we refer to as a non-verbal communication, and they are very, very essential. You know, the surprising truth that I realized is that body language does not only affect how people perceive us and how people feel us, but it also changes how we perceive ourselves and how we feel about ourselves. Is my voice still clear? Okay.
It's clear now.
Okay. So our body language also changes how we feel about ourselves. So sometimes when I don't feel confident in myself, what I do is I put myself in a state where my body can also encourage me and empower me to be confident. I can use my body to change how I feel about myself. It's more like the way, if you want to work, if you really want to work, you have to design your office in certain ways, right? You have to design your office in certain ways. There's a way you design your office, it will encourage you to sleep more. And there's a way you design your workspace, it will encourage you to work more. It will encourage you to stay awake. Depending on the kind of seat you are using, the kind of color that you bring into your office, the ambience around your office, all of these things can contribute. The same way, your behavior, your character, your attitude, the way you behave, the way you carry your body can determine if you're going to be very confident or not. So be careful and be conscious of how you use your body when you are speaking and presenting. By changing our behaviors and body postures, we can change our emotions. We can also change our feelings, and we can change the aura around our presence. So we can change the aura around our presence by simply changing, the behaviors and the body postures that we typically carry. Body language behaviors to help improve your confidence, your power, and your influence. Gestures, I want you to take note of this because this is critical. Gestures increase the value of our message by 60%. Can we take note of that? Can we take note of that? Gestures increase the value of our message by 60%. By 60%. So if you want the message you are communicating to have value, you need to bring. Mr. I can hear you. If you want to increase the value you are bringing to the table, you have to learn to use gestures. So in the Abuja program, I did something. I encouraged one man that was struggling with his presentation. I encouraged him to use his hands because he was finding it difficult. The moment he used his hands, it was almost like he woke the audience up and he was able to connect more with them. So I encourage you, when you are speaking, try to use your hand, your mouth, your voice, your face. Sometimes in comedy, what is actually funny is your face, not really the story that you are telling. Sometimes what is actually funny is your behavior, is the way you are acting, not particularly what you said. Somebody can still say something that is funny and it's not even funny because his face or the voice with which he said it is not funny. So the voice, your use of voice, your use of your face, and your use of your hands are very critical if you're going to add value to the message that you're passing across. Am I making sense? Yeah. So the
Yes,
best,
yes.
yes, the best, most charismatic speakers and influencers, they know the importance of using their hand gestures. So if you check all the speakers that you know and that you respect, let's say for instance, Barack Obama and the rest of them, if you check them, you see that they use their hands very effectively. They use their hand gestures very effectively. Okay, so let's look at some of these guys. You can see the way they are using their hands. This cannot be a coincidence. Why is it that every power player that you can find here is doing the steeple? Why? Why? Could it be that somebody taught all of them to use power steeple? See, every one of them is using power steeple. Why? The hand steeple signifies in charge. It signifies powerful. Okay, some people, when they want to fire or when they want to make critical decisions as CEOs, they do it and they put it at the back of their head and then they relax in their office seat. It means I'm about to make a very critical decision and I need to put myself in my power state. You see, state is very important as a speaker. By state, I'm referring to your emotional state. How you feel in the inside is very important to how you project yourself on the outside. Mr. Ade, are you still there? Mr. Ade, are you still there? Oh, okay. So we have the power steeple. I don't know if you can do the power steeple or you're holding your phone with your hand. Obire, are you holding your phone? Because some people will do it, they will do a different thing. I want to see what you're doing. Yeah, I think you're getting it. Yeah. So sometimes when you are speaking, you can just speak like this when you don't know what to do with your hand. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to, you do your hand and show the power steeple. There's another one. This is called hands on hips, arms akimbo with thumbs back. It shows that you are strong, that you are confident, but sometimes it can also be intimidating. Okay, it shows that you are determined. So if you want to get your team to work, this is how you put your hand on your waist and walk around them. And you notice that your energy will instantly transfer into them. Even when they are sitting down, they will feel like the boss is about to do something. They will feel like there is a fire or there is a motivation in the air. Not necessarily because of what you are saying, but because you have your hands on your waist or on your waist. So it shows that you are strong, it shows that you are confident, and it also shows that you are ready to hit the road or ready to get the job done or ready to fix it. And this is the palms up display, also known as the open arms. The palms up display is very necessary in giving the impression that you are open to conversation. So if you are discussing or you are speaking on stage, you might want to do the palms open display when you are speaking, like I'm doing now.
But what's the difference between this one and that other one that you showed the monkey that was gesticulating around?
Yes, the monkey was no purpose flapping.
Okay, but
it was not particularly, yes, it was not particularly the hand he did. It is the fact that no purpose. You are talking and you are doing your hand. Your hand has there's no direct connection between what your hand is showing and what you are saying.
Okay.
Imagine I'm talking to you and I'm saying, so what I'm saying is that no matter what you do, there's no, what is this thing? The hand has to be doing, so if I'm talking and I'm using my hand effectively, I'm saying, calm down, there's something I want to tell you from the depth of my heart. You see, my hand is saying what my mouth is saying.
Okay.
There are times you don't particularly have any particular significant gestures. In those times, you can do the open arms. Especially when you want to be able to carry the audience along. There is something that happens when you use your arms. People can easily sync with you and they feel that connection. So when you find a physical audience, try this and see how it's going to feel. You'll notice that the moment you raise your hand like this, you're getting more attention from the people and you are getting more reception from them. They are more open to whatever you are talking about. And you can see speakers that have used it in their natural states. And then make eye contact. Eye contact is very vital, whether it's a sales presentation or it is a public presentation, whatever type of presentation you're making, eye contact is very essential because that is how people will determine if you are honest, if you're worth doing business with, or if you are not. And then we have the one we call the dramatic pauses. The dramatic pauses is simply when you pause to create some kind of effect, like when you want to announce the winner of a lottery, for instance, you say, and the winner is, you take some time and then you say it. You can actually use it in public speaking, sometimes to create effects. Okay, sometimes why you use it is because you want to draw the attention of the people. So now I can say something like, I'm going to tell you the 3 secrets of success. Number 1 is devotion. That single pause that I did there, when I said it and I stopped, some people will intellectually or psychologically wake up because they thought, okay, what is it? And then when I say it, it sticks. So sometimes it comes naturally, but in many other cases, some people actually do it intentionally because they understand that this is a communication technique that you can use to pass information across to people in a much better way. Also, learn to take up space. People who are confident normally, naturally take up a lot of space.
How? I don't get that.
Okay. So if you
I
have
don't really get
noticed,
that.
if you have conducted interviews before and you put all the what are they called now, the candidates in one room, you notice that those who are not confident, they will find a way to shrink themselves in one corner.
Okay.
But those who are confident, they will sit as if they've already gotten the job. They are more relaxed. They are more spread somehow. They are more spread. They sit more comfortably. And that tells you that this one is very much confident in what they are doing. That is why they can occupy more space because they are not afraid of occupying space. They are not afraid of spreading their legs. They are not afraid of sitting very properly as if they already have the job. Why
Sorry,
somebody else is afraid? Yeah.
Can it be akin to, let's assume you usher everybody into a room and then some people going to run to the corner quickly.
Yes.
You run to the back and go and take.
But then you see somebody that will come in front of the seat and then cross his leg.
In front.
That's to tell you that this one is not afraid.
Right? He's not afraid. He's not ready to hide himself. Okay.
He's not hiding himself. He's confident. Something tells him he's going to win it, that he's qualified for this. It even happens in natural states as well, because I could remember many times that I enter public transport and people are telling me, "Oga, sit where now? You're not the owner of the vehicle." Because I'm not used to. I want to like take over. I'm used to covering the whole space. You go to a place, you are walking as if you own the place. Sometimes some people might interpret it to be arrogant, but it's because you believe so much that you know what you're doing. How do I know? Because when I don't know what I'm doing, I respect myself. I've gone to programs where there are some dignitaries that, in fact, their presence is shocking. I just go and hide myself in one place to avoid stories that touch. In fact, sometimes they ask you who you are. You don't even want to explain yourself anymore. You say, just don't worry. I'm just who I am. Because you're afraid of introducing yourself. It will look like, who is this one? Where is he coming from? So confident people take up space. If you want people to really perceive you as somebody who is confident, you might really give yourself the permission to take up a lot of space. Then you might also want to widen your stance. Some speakers, they feel like they want to fall when they are standing in front of people to speak. The cure to that is to spread your leg and stand. Stand in such a way that your weight is on your waist. So you are standing very comfortably, not standing like somebody that is about to fall or somebody that would very likely trip. So it's important to widen your stance so that you gain stamina as you are standing and you are speaking. Mr. Adeye, are you still there? I don't trust you because sometimes you disappear. Sometimes you disappear. I don't
I'm here,
trust you.
sir.
I just don't trust you. The way you disappear, I
I'm
don't
serious.
understand.
I'm here now.
You know, we have assignment. It's not when I give you assignment, you now realize that you were not even in class.
Don't worry, no problem. I believe you are going to send all these materials to us, Abi.
Yes.
So no problem.
But not, it's after my assignment. It's when you have passed through the school. I'll not send it. When
Sir?
you no longer, when you don't need it, that's when I'll give it to you.
Oh, I thought you were going to be giving us materials immediately after each class.
If I do, then you probably kill the assignment.
Yeah.
Don't
Is
mind
it
me.
not better like that? What about
Don't
the people
mind
that
me.
are not here today?
I will send it to you. I'll send it.
Ah,
I'll send it to the group so everybody, some people that are not here, they can download it there.
okay,
You don't
it's
have to
better. Yeah,
bother me.
it's better like
Then
that.
speak in a lower pitch. Sometimes when you want to talk, speak in a lower pitch. Sometimes why men don't respect women is not particularly because they are women, like they are the female genders, but because of their pitch. People have that natural tendency to neglect somebody that has a very high pitch, even if you're a man. So you notice that even men or women, they like somebody that has a very organized, very calm, and very deep pitch when they are speaking. It makes you to sound more authoritative. It makes you to sound more reliable. But whenever you are speaking and you're almost screaming with your voice, it makes you to sound like you are faking it, like you are lying, you know. So sometimes when you want to say certain things that are very key and very important, you just lower your voice and ask the people to listen, because what I'm about to say right now is very important. I think if you watch The Wolf of Wall Street, in one of their sales presentation, you're going to see this demonstrated. So sometimes the man will be on call, he's answering phone, and then he said, "Look, John, I want to tell you something, but this is really important, John. This is really important. This is a life-changing decision between you and I." He brings down his voice, right? When he brings down his voice like that, first of all, he creates the impression that whatever he's about to say right now, that is it. That is the most important thing. You really have to pay attention. Then secondly, the person you are talking to will now strive to hear you, which is very important, because it's also a sort of power tussle. I don't know if you are aware. When you are
Yeah.
striving to hear me, not like from the beginning of my speech, not like every part of my speech, but at some point in my speech, it is okay to make you to want to hear me, because in that way I draw your attention and I get to tell you things that might actually stick. But if I'm constantly speaking over you, there'll be a point that you are hearing me but you're not listening. Have you seen where this thing happened? You are hearing the sound of my voice, but the words are not particularly entering. So, but if I lower my voice, then you wake up and say, "What did you say?" And then you start listening. That by the time you start listening, some of the things I'm saying at that particular time begins to make a lot of sense to you. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So let's review the things we've just talked about. The power, especially the power demonstration, the steeple. By the time I send you these things, I want you to make a presentation of yourself with a video. It's going to be a video presentation. I want to see you use your hand gestures, and I want you to talk about your confidence. I want to see more of your confidence in play. Can we do that?
Mhm. Yeah.
Presentation will not exceed 2 minutes, please, because I have to watch it and I have to provide feedback. It will not exceed 2 minutes.
Oh, today?
Not today. It has to be submitted on or before Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is to consider to start having some perceptions. By the time you are going through the program, whatever you have in mind, you can write it in the group. We can be having conversation around everything that we've discussed. Please don't digress from what we've discussed, because some of the things, there are many other things that we'll discuss in the future. So we don't start running ahead of ourselves. But for this is where we discuss for this week. By next week, Tuesday, we continue from the new topic that we have for that Tuesday. Any
Okay.
questions?
So this assignment given to us now,
Yes.
do you stream do you need any particular topic in question related to today's subject, or we could talk on
Yes,
any
related.
points
I think you should do
at
something
all.
related to confidence, self-confidence. It could be about yourself, but let it relate to self-confidence. And then I want you to use your body gestures. I want to see your hands and your eyes being used. So you might want to tell a short story. so that we can see your face and see your hand and see when you're talking about your passion that you touched your heart, and when you're talking about motivation that you did like this. I just want you to do it consciously, and let's see how it's going to work.
Okay.
Mr. Ade, any question?
Yeah, no question for
Okay, no questions.
no questions for now. Yeah.
All right, so here is where we stop for now. We continue our conversation in the group. Thank you for showing up, and see you on Wednesday as we begin to review your videos. And
Is our next class Wednesday?
No, Tuesdays. On Tuesdays.
But today's Monday.
Sorry, Mondays. Don't mind me. I have another class on Tuesday.
Okay.
On Mondays, yes.
Same
Every
time,
Monday
5
is going
o'clock.
to be same time, 5
Okay.
o'clock. Yes.
Okay, sir.
So,
All right.
so how are we going to meet on Wednesday, sir?
Wednesday is going to be on that group, so it's not going to be because you're sending your
That's
video.
just-
I have to watch.
Okay,
the
we'll
video.
send the video to the group.
Yes,
to the
just
group.
drop the video, then I'll make comments. Then if you have comments or questions or concerns, we just anything conversation is just in that group so that everybody will be seeing what's happening.
Okay, sir.
All right, do
sir.
have a wonderful day.
All right, so
Thank you
so
very
much
much. And you
for
too.
your time.
Welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
So we expect